Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing Tesla stock and of course, the week ahead. As we all know, we have Battery Day happening on Tuesday, September 22nd, so that is just Tuesday after next week, which means we have around 7 market days until that event occurs, and that includes the Tuesday that the event actually happens on. So currently, as you're watching this, today is the 13th on a Sunday, so we have this full week right here, 5 weekdays, and then we have the weekend, and then we have Monday and Tuesday, and of course Tuesday is when this event happens. So 5 weekdays, a full week straight, and then another 2 weekdays after that. So 7 weekdays after this weekend until the event of Battery Day. And I have to admit, Battery Day is actually a lot closer than I thought it would be when you really just think about the fact that it's just 7 weekdays, including the day itself. So that's 7 market days where we're really going to have a chance to see what the general investing audience reaction is to this event. So, of course, in the past with Tesla, we've had events like the Cybertruck unveiling and Tesla Autonomy Day, where there wasn't really a significant movement in the stock price after or when those events occurred. However, in the long term, when people really started to extrapolate and infer off of that information, and we started having more bullish thesis like from ARK Invest in reference to the autonomy aspect of Tesla, then these events started becoming more relevant. So it's actually like an interesting thing where if you look back when the events actually occurred, it went over a lot of people's heads. The general investing audience understood what those events meant, but when it came to really discovering the potential of aspects like autonomy and potential with the Cybertruck, in which it's supposed to be the most sold Tesla vehicle ever in history, then we really started to see people catch on to this later on, like with ARK Invest discussing the autonomy aspect, how Tesla would have a tremendous advantage with mastering that technology first. They could undercut the rest of the competition on pricing, and autonomous robo-taxis would cost Tesla like cents per mile, whereas with a manual driver ride-hailing network like Uber or Lyft, it's going to cost you multiple dollars per mile. So it gives Tesla an opportunity like never before to make ride-hailing services very cheap for the consumer, and it also provides an extra aspect of passive income that we've never really had the opportunity to capitalize on before. So I just want to emphasize that with these events in the past, there didn't really seem to be a big initial reaction, at least on the days of the events or close around those events. However, in the long term, when you start to see opinions changing with analysts, and you start to see analysts like from ARK Invest really discussing how this could change our society forever, then in the long term, we start to see more of a positive reaction around Tesla. More people are starting to factor in autonomy when they buy Tesla stock, and so things have definitely changed since those events. So I just want to emphasize and preface this video with the fact that in the past there have been some really major Tesla events in which there wasn't a huge initial reaction, but slowly people started to understand what that event meant and what it could lead to and the possibilities with Tesla in the future, and especially just whole new revenue opportunities like with the robo-taxis, software as a service, and then of course infotainment after autonomy is perfected. So it actually took a while for the typical investor to see the value in this autonomy and why Tesla thought it was important enough to have their own event just talking about that itself. And this is actually interesting in the sense that there are still many investors out there that are just saying this valuation on Tesla stock is ridiculous and blah blah blah, this company is such a joke, it's way overvalued. And a lot of the reasoning as to why we hear this from some investors is that they don't understand the extent of the revenue opportunities with Tesla, especially if they are the first company to perfect the full self-driving technology, or at least get it to the point where it's actually much safer than a manual human driver. So my point here is, I honestly have no idea what the reaction is going to be on Battery Day in terms of the stock price and after Battery Day, but I think you should be paying attention as an investor and try to pay special attention to the details. Try to infer on some information that they announce on Battery Day and think in your mind, how can this translate to Tesla in terms of more revenue opportunities, more brand loyalty, more benefits to scaling the business for the future, and simply just developing a high quality product that revolutionizes our society. So really pay attention to these things, because if you do so, there's possibly that advantage of you picking up on something that most investors, most general investors, might not realize. Even if they do enjoy Tesla, even if they are Tesla bulls and actually believe in the company and invest in the company, there could be situations where you could kind of get like an information advantage if you start to think about possibilities with this new technology or with this new announcement that Tesla could capitalize on in the future. So I think it's really important to pay attention and try to do what people didn't do back when we had Autonomy Day and the Cybertruck unveiling, which is to basically look at the information and try to understand how this benefits the company in the long term, instead of either having no reaction like the general stock market did, or focusing on small things like the window breaking with the Cybertruck. And I think it actually went down in value notably. I know that Wall Street Bets was like really upset about it. Obviously, the window was something that could be easily fixed and improved in the future, but there was a ton of valuable information just from the Cybertruck unveiling alone, and then also with Autonomy Day as well. Just think about how far Tesla has gone in terms of just information about autonomy and advancements and things like that since that most recent event last year. So instead of focusing on short-term perspective thinking, try to think about in terms of whatever they reveal on Battery Day, how is this going to benefit Tesla in the future? Are there some small details I can appreciate here? What will this lead to for the company? How are they going to maximize profitability off of this? Will this add more efficiency to the company? Does this give them the competitive edge over the quote competition? So it's important to be thinking about these things, and I just wanted to preface this video with that point that we might not see a significant reaction. However, I think there is going to be some hype building up the closer that we get to Battery Day. And also, please make sure to smash that like button if you all do enjoy these Tesla videos. I almost forgot that point right there. And of course, as always, anything that I say or have said in this video is not to be considered financial advice. This is just simply me sharing my thoughts and opinions and perspectives. But like I said, I think it's a real possibility that we could see a little bit of a buildup in Tesla's share price before this event actually happens. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a significant buildup, but it could be something subtle, such as like a few green days in a row. It doesn't have to be plus 3%, plus 5%, or anything like that. I'm talking about just subtle consistency with it rebounding a bit more and actually getting closer to its most recent peak. Now, I don't know if this is actually going to happen. I wouldn't even really say this is a prediction, but I'm just saying that I wouldn't be surprised if this is something that happens as we start to see a little bit of a buildup in hype towards this event. That's certainly a possibility, and then there's also certainly the possibility that just the general stock market tends to continue with its downturn, and unfortunately Tesla might have to continue with that similar pattern as well. As we know, if the general stock market isn't doing well, the rest of the stocks tend to mimic what the general stock market is doing. It kind of works across the board that way if you take a look at these similar patterns for Friday. So obviously I have no idea what's going to happen. Really, no one has any idea what's going to happen in this next upcoming week. None of us have a crystal ball, but we can only try to come up with some possibilities. None of us know the exact answer right now, but that's the fun thing about the stock market, because no one has the answer. So technically no one is right until we actually see the result. But I'm just saying it could be a real possibility that we start to see a buildup in Tesla's share price. Now, I think that's much more likely if the general stock market doesn't continue a downturn. If it actually starts doing well, or we have a few back and forth days of red, green, then I feel like it's much more likely that we could see a buildup in the share price for Tesla, and it's slowly increasing a little bit the closer we get to Battery Day. But regardless, these next couple of days are certainly going to be interesting, and especially on that Monday before Battery Day. I think around that time I'm actually going to get paid. I'm still trying to decide whether I should buy before Battery Day or if I should wait until a possible pullback sometime after Battery Day. But then in that scenario, that's kind of like timing the market, and you take the risk of them announcing something really, really important and significant on Battery Day, and the stock could possibly skyrocket, and then there I'm left, you know, being able to buy less shares with my money because I decided to wait a little bit longer. And then unfortunately there's that possibility of me buying the day before Battery Day if it does like go up a little bit with that hype train and people are excited about it, so they're buying it beforehand, and I buy it at a pretty high price, and then there happens to be a pullback after Battery Day. So there's two possibilities there, but honestly I may end up just following my dollar cost averaging strategy. You all know that most of the time when I get money, I usually just put it right into the stock market and the stocks that I believe in, and right now that is Tesla stock. However, I feel like that's a little bit different from like your typical timing the market, where commonly you see people trying to time the market in terms of selling stocks. as you all know, I just buy and hold long term. If a stock that I love and believe in long term happens to dip, I just take advantage of that opportunity and buy more of it. Whereas with like your typical comparison of timing the market, you think of someone that tries to sell off early and then hopes the stock market crashes and then tries to time the market perfectly on the bottom of that dip. That's more like of a timing the market that I think of in comparison to like what I would be doing. Even in the case that I did decide to try to wait until after battery day, that's like more of trying to time my purchases. So I feel like there's kind of a notable difference between trying to find a good time to purchase compared to trying to time the market by selling off your things and timing the top, and also trying to time the bottom for when you should buy back in. So I feel like there's kind of a difference between that and what I would be doing. But like I said, at this point, it'll probably end up with me just most likely dollar cost averaging, because I think they will be announcing some pretty game-changing pieces of information on battery day, and even Elon Musk himself has said that there's going to be some pretty exciting announcements. So I'm really hyped about it. I know you all are as well, but I just wanted to have that transparency there. I have been selling some things, so I have a little bit of cash on the sidelines to put into Tesla stock. But anyways, please make sure to smash that like button if you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave your thoughts and predictions down in the comment section below, because of course none of us have that crystal ball. So at this point it's just all predictions and all guesses, which actually makes investing pretty fun. But we all know long term is much more predictable with Tesla, but events like these and short-term situations are kind of fun to speculate on. Also, feel free to check out Robinhood and Webull in the description below. If you sign up with my link, then you'll get some free stocks, and especially with Webull right now, you can get 2 free stocks if you use my link and deposit $100 into your account. Keep in mind, you can take that $100 right back out after you get your free stocks, so it's basically just nice passive income. But hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.